Hello, it's Jorb. My name's Jorb. I love gear, and today I'm talking about Behringer's Deepmind 12, or also Behringer's Solina string machine. So if you spend much time on... Sorry, I like this patch. I can't stop playing. If you spend much time on the Synth internet, on the Synth YouTube, then you probably noticed today Behringer announced another clone. This is a clone of the Solina string synthesizer, which is a sort of primitive, might be a rude way to say it, but more rudimentary, or definitely a different idea of achieving polyphony. And they're a fascinating part of synthesizer history and technological advancements in the 70s and relevant through to the 80s. But what I hear is a sound that I like and might want to use. And so I said I could probably recreate that on the Deepmind, and I played it for you. I hope you think that I did an okay job. I certainly think I did an okay job. I included the phaser, switched with the mod wheel. And it is pretty simple. So I'm going to go to an initialized patch, and I'm going to show you what I did for the analog synth part, and then I'm just going to sort of quickly walk you through the settings that I have here in the effects section. I hope that's of value to you. So let's get right into it. So we have a default, and I'm turning down the reverb in my mixer a little bit. The first thing I do in any default patch, I turn off velocity sensitivity in the VCA and the VCF. I think that it just busies things from the start, and if I want to add it, I'll add it later. And we're going to go just to the VCA. That's all we're going to worry about right now. And sustain all the way up. A little bit of attack. A little more attack. And just the slightest amount of release. A pinch more. Cool, we're going to live with that. And we're going to take it down to just a sawtooth, because the Solina is just sawtooths. Okay, sounds good to me. And we're going to add a little bit of resonance where the filter's all the way open, because when I listen to their little demo, I hear less low end than I hear here. Okay, and so we can kind of achieve that with a high pass filter. We can kind of achieve that by increasing the whole EQ curve up by going to a 2-pole filter. Let's listen. So I'm going to leave it on 2-pole and introduce a little bit of resonance at the high end again. A little less even. And those are all part of the patch that I played early on. I'm really just trying to shift the whole EQ curve from being even across the whole spectrum. Is this in view? From even to shifting it all a little bit to the high end, okay? Because that's when I listen to the dry sound of the Behringer demo, that's more or less what I notice, is lows are quieter, and pretty evenly mids and highs. If anything, biased towards the high. Okay, that's pretty much it for the analog synth part of it, okay? Just because I might use them and I like to do things with them, I will turn my LFOs to mono, and that is a part of what matters in the effects. So back to the patch that the pre-cooked one, the one that's been in the oven. A lot of what we're hearing here is the effects. And so I did a little research on, and I am actually just kind of familiar with the chorus and string machines. It's called a tri-chorus. And in reality, what it is a single LFO or 2 LFOs, depending on your design, with outputs at a different phase, and those get blended to controlling the delay of 3 unique bucket brigades, which is a delay chip. I guess suppose it doesn't always have to be a bucket brigade, but my point is there's a consistent group of modulation affecting 3 different delay lines, which give you chorus. okay? So they're all related, but out of phase. And that gives you this sort of swirling, right? And back to literally tri-chorus, what I tried to do was have 3 modulated lines, 3 vibrato lines, and on the overview section we can see the mix for the first 2 is 100, and this third one is 50, okay? And so let's follow this layout here and understand what that means. 1 is a vibrato, 2 is a vibrato, and they aren't affecting each other at all, right? So this first line is our signal straight from the synth, what we just heard, going separately to 2 different vibratos, and they are different. And so now I'm just going to slowly click through the effect sections so you can take stock of all the settings in here. So here's 1 and 2. And you notice 1 is fast and 1 is slow. And here's 3, just slow again. Okay? And they're out of phase with each other. And the idea for that is they just need to be different. Okay? Because when I listen to that, all I hear is modulation that's changing. That's different. It's just hard to pin down the pitch you're hearing originally. So I do introduce a little bit of pitch mod. I've tried it on and off, and it's hard to know if I care that it's accurate to what the synth would be doing and if it just sounds a little better. But I think just barely on is where I've left it. Anyway, this third chorus is 50% mix, right? And so we get dry, which in this case is 2 separate vibrato signals, and wet, which is its own vibrato signal. So again, a third chorus with settings that are different, giving us a third signal plus a little bit of the dry. And by that I mean it's vibrato of those. So you have 3 pitches wavering that are not quite nailed down. Okay, and you'll notice they modulate their speed a little bit together. I used LFO2 to do that. And again, these are kind of arbitrary speeds. You could try a lot of different things to really get close. That wasn't my goal, more the spirit of it. This makes sense to me to do 1 and 2 modulated the same or similarly, and 3 in a different way. But LFO2 unipolar, which means it's only positive modulation. When it gets to the bottom, it's just not adding anything, and the whole travel of it adds, so that they have some sort of consistency. Whereas in a real tri-chorus, they would be all related modulation, right? Just to get that idea across and get it close, they're all modulating in speed together. Okay, and then this last, just because we're in the mod matrix, mod wheel is adding a bunch to effects 4 mix. And so here's effects 4, the phaser. Right now the mix is at 0 as we move in the mod wheel. We get more mix on the phaser, up to not all the way 100, because I think it's a little too loud like that. This is our approximation of the small stone included in that circuit. So I am pretty proud of this, and there's not much else to say. I don't intend for this to be, this is exactly right, and you should do your best to follow this exactly. I mean this as a way of showing the Deepmind 12 can do a lot, and I want people to know that and understand that. And I know it's exciting when new things come out to say, oh, I need that sound, I want that sound. But there's a good chance you have something in your gear room or in your setup or in your studio that can already make that sound, and you just need to sit down and figure it out. So that's more or less it. Alrighty, thank you again for watching. If you're subscribed, I really appreciate you. If you aren't, that's okay. It's very likely, in fact, that the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. It's also very likely that they found this video by searching. The way I work, the way I think, if you found this by searching, I have value to you. My channel has value to you. This video in particular, or any of the other ones that I've put up, might have value to you. And so if you subscribe, you don't have to search again. They'll just get sent right to you. There's my pitch. I hate saying that. I talk about synths that I have, what it's like to buy, work on them, and I make a lot of patches for the Deepmind in particular because I think it is spectacular. So, thank you. Again, I hope I encouraged you not to buy a Solina string machine if you already have a Deepmind or a polysynth and knowledge of effects. So thank you again. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day, or your night, or your month, whenever you come back, right? Your hour. My name's Jorb. I love gear. I'll see you in the next one.